Number one error against serve and volleyers is hitting in the net. Sure, you're trying to keep the ball low. You don't want to pop it up too much and give that server an easy volley. But the bottom line is get the ball over the net and make him execute the volley. Another thing is sometimes returners become so distracted by the oncoming net rusher that they look up, they take their eyes off the ball. So it's extremely important now to keep your head still and stay focused on the ball against the serve and volleyer. We're now going to go through 4 ways in which you can deal with the serve and volleyer. Okay, number 1, mix up your returns. Take some pace off the ball, massage the ball a little bit. Many times serve and volleyers love pace. They thrive off that because when you hit a hard return, they just stick out their racket and volley it off, angle it off for a winner. Many times the server does not have to be a good volleyer when you hit hard because they just take this short little swing and block it off for a winner. But when you massage the ball, when you hit the ball soft and take the pace off it, they have to be a better volleyer. Many times too, when you take the pace off the ball, by the time the ball gets to the server, the ball is dipping down low, they have to hit up, and that gives you a chance to step in and pass them. So number 1, take some pace off the ball.
Here the returner uses slice and takes the pace off the ball, which can keep the ball below net level, forcing the server to hit up. Now the returner takes the pace off the ball with a forehand slice. By slowing the ball down, the volley is more difficult for the server. Here the returner makes the volley difficult for the server by using topspin. Topspin causes the ball to dip at a server's feet.
Okay, number 2 against the serve and volleyer, return the ball cross court. Remember, when you return cross court, you're going over the low part of the net and you have more footage to hit into. When you hit cross court, you've got 82 feet. When you go down the line, you've got 78 feet. The other advantage is when you hit cross court, you're making that first volley more difficult for the server. He now has to hit over the high part of the net. He has less court to hit into, and he has to contend with the sideline. It's a much more difficult volley than if you give him a cross-court volley. So down the line volley is much more difficult, and when you return cross-court, that's what you're giving the server.
Here the returner goes down the line against a serve and volleyer. If the return is not out of reach, it gives the server the easier cross-court volley, as in this case. Against a serve and volleyer, it's more advantageous to go cross-court with the return, forcing him to hit the more difficult volley down the line. Here, the server misses the down-the-line volley.
Okay, number 3 against the serve and volleyer. Hit right at them. Try and give them a new belly button. Hey, we're not trying to hurt anybody, but hitting right at them will give them one more thing to think about. Many times you can jam them and get an error. The other thing is, take a hefty cut at this one. You want to make sure you clear the net to be effective. And even if you get the ball up a little high, the server may tend to hit balls that are going out. So that's just another option. Go right at the server.
Here the returner hits right at the oncoming net rusher, giving him one more shot to worry about. An added advantage is that sometimes the server will hit balls that are going out.
Okay, number 4 against the serve and volleyer. Throw in the lob. Again, you're mixing it up. You're giving the server one more thing to think about. Lob to the backhand side, that's going to make that overhead more difficult. The other thing is when you throw up that occasional lob, you keep the server back a little bit. He doesn't get so close in on the net. If you never lob, they'll get real tight on the net and they'll have a lot of easy volleys. So by throwing up that lob, you keep them from closing in so tight on the net.
Here the returner mixes it up with a lob over the more difficult backhand side. Using this tactic prevents the server from closing in tight on the net, which gives the server an easier volley.